always like to try a new medium for cutting things on the scroll saw, and I'm usually using different types of woods. But today I'm going to try doing a sign from a piece of MDF. Never really did one out of this. It's about 1/2 inch, I believe, and I've cut it to size already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sign here, which I entitle Hello Coffee, and I'm going to first of all put down a layer of tape on here, and then we'll attach the pattern, and then we'll see how this thing cuts. I'm going to use a number 5 reverse blade on it. Not sure that's going to be big enough, but we'll find out as we progress. So let's get this thing set up. Alright, we're at the drill press now. This is my mini drill press that I use for drilling entry holes to my signs. I tried a different angle with the camera before and had a disaster. The camera fell down in the process and messed up my drill press altogether. Had to change the drill bit, which is now set to go, I guess, and we'll try it here and see if it works. You can see the damage I've done to the pattern already. Hopefully it didn't get through to the other side of the pattern so that it affected the board. Doesn't say. I think there might be a little cut there, but I think we're going to be cutting that out anyways. Okay, so let's get this these holes drilled out. Okay, managed to get all these holes drilled out without dropping it this time. Now we'll go back and check this out on the saw. At the scroll saw now, and brought our panel over here. We're going to try cutting, see how it does on this R5 blade, and see how it goes. I'll try to keep my hands out of the way so you can see the cut being done. Probably speed it up also to not waste your time. Here we go. Put it through these holes first. I'm going to put my mask on too because this stuff is really dusty. Well, number 5 blade seems to cut pretty good. Don't know how these edges are going to look when I take it off. Hope there isn't going to be a lot of fuzziness there. It does seem to be some, but it could be just the paper from the pattern also. Let's continue on, see how we do. Okay, we got the sign cut out of the MDF, and doesn't look bad right now, except for the mess on the front here. I'm going to take this over to the bench in a little while and clean it up, see if there's any problem with the fuzzies along the edge there. But I want to point out too that sometimes when you're cutting, you might want to do what is called editing on the scroll saw. In other words, you see a pattern that isn't completely developed, and I did this pattern up, but it didn't occur to me at the time. But if you look underneath the lettering here, for example, the E's, they sort of blend in with the bottom of the sign, and you can't really see the rest of the E. Well, you can't cut the whole E out, obviously, or the E would just fall right off. But you can get a slight start to it, sort of a suggestion of the bottom of the E, and it'll make the pattern a little better in the end. I'm going to go around and see if I can curve some of these things, and I do this strictly on the fly. Nothing is printed out there. I'm just going to simply improvise it and make those C's, the E's, and other curves a little bit better. So here we go. Okay, I didn't go all the way around, as you see, just part way. And if you could go inside there, but you could also approach it from the other side too if you want. You should be consistent, of course, and do it one way, but I'm going to just do it this way to show you how. Okay, so we've done a little bit of what I call editing on the scroll saw. I don't know if that's going to be very clear. The camera doesn't seem to be focusing very well. Maybe I can show you later on. Well, we'll take a look at it later on when we peel off the tape anyways. And we can do also, we can do the dish here a little bit. Don't have to go all the way across, just enough to suggest that there would have been something there. In order to get to the inside of the C, you've got to go one of the inside cuts to do that. There we go with the C. Okay, I think I'll just leave the O alone because I think it'll stand out a little better if I don't do that. All right, let's take this over to the bench now, and let's peel the tape off, see what kind of results we got. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. Don't know for sure. Back here at the bench, take my mask off, and let's see if we can peel this off without destroying the MDF. It seems to be coming off pretty good, at least at that point. Gotta try to grab a corner to do this. And it seems to come off really good. Or really well, as I should say. Alright, take this and dust it off, and it's not bad at all actually. There doesn't seem to be much of a frilly edge here. I'll try running this over on the sander a little bit, see if it takes a little bit of those frills off. But I think it came out pretty good actually, considering it's the first time I tried this with the MDF. Let's take it over to the sander and see if I can sand those off a little bit. I took this over to the sanding mop and ran it through a little bit. Took any of the frilly edges off without removing much of the MDF material. And it looks good on both sides. gonna have to come up with, I could, I suppose, at this point, paint it if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. But I should come up with some kind of a base, a contrasting base for it. So let me see what I got. I'll come back for that. Okay, went over to the scrap bin, found this piece of pine, which is nice and smooth, and I ran it over the sander, smoothed out even more of the edges, and then rounded over the edges on there too. And I think this is going to fit nicely on here. A nice contrast of a lighter wood with a darker color of the MDF. I'll just glue this on here now. A little bit of glue on the bottom. Glue doesn't seem to want to stay for some reason. This is something interesting. It's almost like the glue is rolling right off of there. Should have thought it would have stayed right on, but got to sort of press it in. Okay, worked pretty good. Once we got ourselves straightened out, we'll take this and wipe some of this glue up that dropped down here. There. And we'll take our sign, "Hello Coffee," and rub that down to smooth it out. Place it down on the board. I'll go get a couple of clamps. Usually just clamp the ends on these. It's more than enough. Let it dry for about an hour or so. And then I usually take it over and finish it off with the finishing materials, but I don't think we're going to need to do any finishing on this. I'm going to leave this pretty much plain. It is a demonstration piece, and we now know that we can work with this, and could probably paint it, make it look pretty good too, but I think we'll leave it as is. Well, I think that finishes up this project. If you enjoyed watching, click on the little like button down below, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can also get alerts when I come up with a new video. Also, you might want to check out my website. It's Baggetta, BAGGETTA.com, C-O-M, and from there you can jump over to the pattern site. Have a lot of free patterns on there. Plus, I also have a lot of pattern books that you can buy. And my Etsy store also, which you can also buy pattern books in. And check out the finished products if you decide you'd like to buy any of those. Okay, thank you for watching.